Welcome to our deep dive.
Oh,
This one is going to be about the last day of the dinosaurs. You sent in some excerpts from a video essay, and I think after this you're going to look at the world in a totally different way. Like for 180 million years, the dinosaurs
Rue.
ruled the Earth.
It's hard to even imagine, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
picturing a world without the internet, but for like millions of years.
That's true. It's true.
That's what's so powerful about this whole story, I think. It makes you think that things that seem permanent can just be gone like that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So okay, so rewind the clock. 66 million years.
Okay.
The video you sent painted a picture of what life was like. Lush forests, a nice warm climate, when dinosaurs
Yeah.
everywhere. And not just like the T-Rex. It also mentioned some lesser-known species like the Pictinodon. It's a small bird-like dinosaur. But what I thought was so interesting was this feeling of continuity. Life had been this way for so long they couldn't even fathom anything else.
It's like they were living in their own version of like business as usual, you know? Like how about in our own lives? We make all these plans, we build careers, we have relationships, thinking that tomorrow's going to be the same as today.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It's like we're all kind of like these dinosaurs walking around oblivious to the fact that things could change like that.
Yeah.
And in this case, it did. There was a change. And it started as this unassuming little dot in the night sky.
Uh-huh.
At first, it was probably just a little glimmer. But night after night, it kept getting brighter and brighter
Right.
until it looked like, almost like a small moon.
Wow.
And what's interesting is the video really points out how slow and subtle it was. Almost like it was lulling the dinosaurs into a false sense of security.
Like a this is fine kind of situation.
Totally.
Yeah.
And just when this mysterious object starts to become a fixture in the night sky, it disappears,
Oh.
vanishes into the Earth's shadow. I wonder what the dinosaurs must have thought.
Maybe they thought that they were in the clear, like danger averted. But that relief was very, very short-lived, cause in the morning, it reappeared. And this time it was on a collision course with Earth.
Right.
The video actually highlights the Yucatan Peninsula, like present-day Mexico, as the impact zone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The Yucatan. Wow.
Yeah.
That puts things into perspective. So this asteroid, it wasn't just some like pebble in space, right?
Oh, no. It was described as larger than Mount Everest, traveling at 60 times the speed of sound. The video compares the impact to billions, with a B, of nuclear weapons detonating at the same time. Billions.
It's hard to even comprehend. And we're talking about something that happened 66 million years ago.
I know. The video goes on to describe like what happened right after the impact, like a blinding flash of light.
Wow.
So intense it would have been visible for thousands of kilometers.
Okay.
And the bedrock at the impact site instantly vaporized,
Oh.
turning into this superheated plasma. Anything within a 1,500-kilometer radius would have been incinerated like that.
Yeah.
Gone. Not even ashes.
And in all this chaos, the video describes something really bizarre. A temporary mountain, 10 kilometers high,
What?
formed by the Earth's crust being pushed upward from the impact. Imagine seeing that.
A 10-kilometer high mountain just appears
Oof.
in a matter of minutes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And that wasn't all. The impact also triggered a global magnitude 11 earthquake.
A magnitude 11 earthquake. Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of devastation would that have caused?
I mean, we're talking about shock waves traveling at over 1,000 kilometers per hour, leveling entire forests, triggering landslides, possibly even setting off volcanic eruptions thousands of kilometers away. The video even says that this earthquake may have contributed to the Deccan Traps eruptions in India.
So not only do you have this unimaginable impact on this monstrous temporary mountain, but you've also got earthquakes and volcanoes erupting all over the place. This is truly a global catastrophe.
And we haven't even gotten to the tsunamis.
Oh, no.
The video talks about tsunamis unlike anything we've ever seen. We're talking waves up to a kilometer high.
A kilometer high.
Yeah. Engulfing coastlines thousands of kilometers away from where the asteroid hit.
That's taller than most skyscrapers. It's hard to even picture the kind of destruction that those waves must have caused.
And if the earthquakes, the volcanoes, and tsunamis weren't bad enough, there's another horrifying element. A global firestorm.
A global firestorm. How did that even happen?
Well, when the asteroid slammed into Earth, it sent billions of tons of this molten rock and superheated debris up into the atmosphere. And all that debris rained back down on the planet, igniting these massive wildfires across the globe. So picture this. Earth engulfed in flames, the sky choked with smoke, like something out of a nightmare. But even this inferno, as devastating as it was just the beginning.
So you're telling me that after the earthquakes, the volcanoes, the tsunamis, and the global firestorm, things got worse for the dinosaurs?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the real killer, the thing that really made them go extinct, was what came next. A global winter.
A global winter.
Yeah.
But there was all that fire. I don't get it.
It sounds kind of crazy, right? But the impact kicked up so much dust and debris into the atmosphere that it basically blocked out the sun. And then when you add the smoke from the wildfires, you got a recipe for a super fast and huge drop in global temperatures. The video says that this long winter lasted for decades.
Decades of darkness and freezing temperatures. Wow. So what would that do to life on Earth?
I mean, everything stops. Plants can't photosynthesize. The food chain breaks down. And the video talks about how this affected the oceans, too, with plankton dying off, which then affected the whole marine ecosystem. Imagine, the ammonite. Have you heard of those?
Sounds like so.
They were these, beautiful spiral-shelled creatures.
Oh, okay.
They lived in the oceans, and they were around for millions of years. But they needed plankton to survive. So when the plankton was gone, so were they. It just shows you how connected everything is on Earth.
It's amazing to think that something that happened on the other side of the world could have such a big impact on the oceans. So I guess that's it for the dinosaurs, right?
Yeah.
This is where their story ends.
Yeah, and for tons of other species, too. The video says that this one event made 75% of all species on Earth go extinct. Can you imagine, the silence after everything calmed down?
Scary thought. Millions of years of evolution just gone like that. But it makes you think, what if the asteroid hadn't hit? Would there still be dinosaurs today? Would we even be here talking about this?
It's one of those questions it makes you think. We like to think of ourselves as the most important species on the planet, but this just shows you how easily that could change. It really makes you think about our place in the world, doesn't it?
Totally. It's humbling, for sure.
Yeah.
But it also feels relevant to what's happening today.
Yeah.
We have climate change and pandemics.
Yeah.
Yeah, and political stuff. It's almost like we're living in our own version of the late Cretaceous, we're waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And unlike the dinosaurs, we have the knowledge and the technology to stop a disaster from happening. We have telescopes looking for asteroids.
Yeah.
We have scientists working on ways to push asteroids away if we need to.
That's good. So it's not all bad news. We can learn from what happened and take steps to protect ourselves. Are there specific programs that are doing this?
Yeah. NASA has something called the Planetary Defense Coordination Office.
Okay.
They're the ones tracking near-Earth objects.
Yeah.
And coming up with plans to defend the planet. And there are projects like the Double Asteroid Redirection Test, or DART for short. They smashed a spacecraft into an asteroid to change its path, and it worked.
That's amazing. It's like something you'd see in a movie. But it's real. It shows that we're not just sitting around waiting for something bad to happen. We can actually do something about it.
Exactly. And that's the big takeaway from all of this. Yeah, the dinosaur extinction was awful. But it teaches us something. We have to be careful. We need to keep doing science. And we need to work together to protect our future.
It's a reminder that we're not just living for today. We have to make sure that what happened to the dinosaurs doesn't happen to us, for the sake of future generations.
Couldn't have said it better. This has been a wild ride, hasn't it? We went back in time, saw incredible destruction, and talked about what it all means for us.
I had no idea there was so much to learn about the dinosaur extinction. I thought it was just an asteroid hit Earth, the end.
Yeah.
But it's so much more complicated than that.
For sure. And I think what's most interesting is that it shows that we shouldn't assume that things will always stay the same. We get so busy with our lives, our routines, that we forget how easily it could all disappear. We forget that change can happen so fast, and that we usually don't see it coming.
We think that because things have always been a certain way.
Yeah.
That they'll always be that way.
Yeah. And that's not always true. The dinosaurs are proof of that. And it's a lesson we need to remember.
Yeah, it really makes you think about how quickly everything can change.
It does. It really does.
It's a good reminder to appreciate what we have, while we have it.
Exactly. You never know what could happen tomorrow.
But there's also something hopeful about this whole thing, don't you think? We're here having this conversation. Life went on.
Absolutely. It's like a phoenix, rising from the ashes. After the dinosaurs were wiped out, new life appeared.
Yeah.
Mammals were there the whole time, but then they had a chance to take over.
So we owe our existence to that asteroid.
It's true.
If it hadn't hit, who knows? Maybe we'd still be living in the shadow of giant dinosaurs.
It's a crazy thought, Ray. I mean, the dinosaurs dying was a terrible thing, but it also led to us being here. It shows that even when things seem really bad, There's always a chance for something new to start.
This whole deep dive has been, wow, just really eye-opening. It makes you think differently about the world, about where we fit in.
I'm glad to hear that. And before we finish up, I want to leave you with something to think about. What if something like this happened today, like a huge disaster that could wipe us all out? What could we do to survive?
That's a big question. I mean, it makes you realize that we have to protect this planet. We have to protect ourselves for the future.
Exactly. We're smart, we have technology, and we can work together. We
Yeah.
need to use all of that to face whatever comes our way.
So this has been amazing, a journey through time, back to one of the biggest events in Earth's history.
It really has.
But it's also been about today and what we can do to make sure we have a future.
Well said. I hope this has made you think about how precious life is, and how strong it can be, and how important it is to protect our planet.
And to our listener, thanks for being here with us for this incredible journey. We hope this has made you curious and given you new ways to think about the world, and maybe even inspired you to do something to make a difference, because that's what we want to do with these deep dives, to give you knowledge and make you think, and remind you how amazing the world is.